Hello everyone and welcome back to another election night. This is my subscriber side Senate election night. But before I start this video, I do want to thank Eureka for sponsoring this video. Go to eureka.biz, get your big idea started right now. Tonight, both parties fight for control of the upper chamber in the U.S. Congress, and the polls have now closed in 6 different states. And in those 6 states, there are 5 Senate races. We have one projection from the state of Virginia, where Mark Warner will defeat his Republican opponent, Daniel Gade. It is currently too close to call in the state of South Carolina. Jaime Harrison leading Lindsey Graham, the incumbent there. It's currently too early to call in Georgia, where David Perdue has a big lead over his Democratic opponent, John Ossoff, although the urban areas have not come in yet. Raphael Warnock, in a special election, which probably will go to a runoff, is currently trailing Doug Collins. In Kentucky, Amy McGrath is currently trailing Mitch McConnell, but do remember that a lot of the Democratic-leaning precincts have not been counted yet. The Democrats are at 36 seats, and the Republicans are at 30. It's now 7:30, and the polls have closed. Shelley Moore Capito from the safe red state of West Virginia has defeated Paula Jean Swearingen. She upset her primary challenger, Richard Ojeda, and she is now going to lose to Shelley Moore Capito. With 3% of precincts in, we have a very tight race in North Carolina. It was expected to be close, and so far it's living up to the hype. Democrats have gained 1 tonight. The Republicans have gained 1 as well. The polls have now closed in a lot of key Senate races, including the interesting Senate races of Maine and Alabama. But first, we have a plethora of calls for the Democrats. Jean Shaheen will defeat Donald Bullock in the Senate race for New Hampshire, and Ed Markey, who lost in the primary to Joe Kennedy. Kennedy is going to be the next United States Senator from the state of Massachusetts. Jack Reed has been re-elected to another 6-year term, defeating Alan Waters, his far right-wing opponent. In the state of New Jersey, Cory Booker will win another 6-year term, defeating Hirsch Singh. In Delaware, Chris Coons defeating strong Republican opponent Lauren Witzke in that Senate race. Good amount of third-party voting. Dick Durbin will be re-elected to another term. Interesting third-party candidate Willie Wilson taking away votes from Durbin, but he will still hold on to his seat against opponent Mark Curran. We do have some key race alerts from the state of South Carolina. Lindsey Graham, an hour after poll closing, we are going to call this race for him. He has defeated Jaime Harrison, his Democratic opponent. Mitch McConnell also has won re-election to another term. He has defeated Democratic opponent Amy McGrath, who had a tough primary challenger, Charles Booker. She ended up winning, but could not unseat McConnell. It's another lost year for Democrats in Kentucky. Now for the Republicans, we have an early call for Mississippi. Some thought it would be too close to call at the start, due to this race being very close back in 2018 for Mississippi, but this time it won't be nearly as close, but still a respectable margin for SB. Now from the solidly red state of Tennessee, this is once a swing state, not so much anymore. Bill Hagerty will defeat James McElwee, his Democratic opponent. In the solidly red state of Oklahoma, not a single blue county on the map tonight. Jim Inhofe, the oldest senator in the U.S. Senate, he's 85. No, sorry, he's second oldest behind Chuck Grassley, but he will defeat Abby Broyles for another 6-year term. He'll be 91 when he retires, poor guy. In the state of Maine, it's currently too close to call, but we do want to update you on this race. Susan Collins, the unpopular incumbent for the Republican Party, is currently trailing Sarah Gideon. One of the races to watch tonight is in Alabama, where Tommy Tuberville, who beat Jeff Sessions in that contested primary, faces off against the incumbent Doug Jones. Remember, Doug Jones, he was elected in the special election in 2017 against Roy Moore, who was very controversial. Jones is actually pretty popular, so he has a good shot, and he's going to get a lot of moderate support. But still, this is a very red state, and he will need some luck to hold on against Tuberville. But do remember that he has the lead, which is a very good sign for him. Democrats currently at 42 seats, the Republicans at 36. Remember, the Democrats need 9 for an outright majority, so do the Republicans. Or the Republicans need 15. We have one poll closing, but we do have a call from the state of Alabama. Tommy Tuberville will defeat Doug Jones in the Senate race. Jones, do remember that he was elected in 2017. I just mentioned that, but I'm going to say it again. That's Roy Moore, a very unpopular opponent. He is now out of the Senate after 3 years as a Democrat representing the state of Alabama. For the state of Arkansas, we can project that Tom Cotton will be the winner there, defeating Dan Whitfield, his independent challenger, but Whitfield does lean more to the left, so he will caucus to the Democrats. The Democrats are currently at 42 seats. They remain there, but the Republicans have gained 2 in the states of Arkansas and Alabama. This is by far the most important poll closing for Senate races. Before we get started, we have a projection. Doug Collins will go to the runoff. He will advance there, and so will Raphael Warnock. He represents the Democrats, so Kelly Loeffler and Matt Lieberman are not going to go to the runoff. However, Warnock and Collins will. I know it says we'll go to runoff, but that's our bad. David Perdue has defeated Democratic opponent John Ossoff. Now, we do have a call from the state of Minnesota. Some thought this would be competitive. It's looking like it won't be. Tina Smith leading Jason Lewis. We can project she will hold on and have another 6 years in the U.S. Senate. Henry Lujan, a congressman from New Mexico, has defeated Mark Ronchetti to go to the Senate. He will be the next United States Senator from New Mexico, replacing incumbent Tom Udall. Not a flip, but just a hold for the Democratic Party. Now from Texas, some thought it would be competitive. Apparently my subscribers don't think it will, because John Cornyn has defeated MJ Heger pretty soundly by a good margin. Bill Cassidy will go on to be he's the incumbent, so he will win another turn, defeating Antoine Pierce. From the state of Nebraska, Ben Sass defeating very controversial opponent Chris Janicek easily. From South Dakota, Mike Rounds, we can project, will win his race against Dan Allers. From the state of Wyoming, Cynthia Loomis will win re-election. She was a former congressman, and again, she identifies as a congressman, not a congresswoman. I don't know why, but that's her choice. Congressman Loomis has she is going to continue her political career in the United States Senate, defeating Jana Ludwig. It is currently too close to call in the state of Michigan between John James and incumbent Gary Peters. Both are fairly popular, but the polling has Peters ahead by a significant margin. We expect him to edge it out at the end of the night, but it's currently too close to call. In Kansas, Chris Kobach against Barbara Bollier. Bollier is a conservative Democrat, former Republican. Kobach very unpopular, so this will be a very interesting race to watch. Currently, Bollier has the lead. Democrats certainly hoping that she can hold on. In Colorado, Cory Gardner currently trails John Hickenlooper, but still too early to call. We're not going to call that race yet. In Arizona, Martha McSally is actually outperforming some expectations. Some thought she was going to lose this by 10 plus points, but currently she's only trailing Kelly by 4. So the Democrats are at 48 seats, and the Republicans are at 44. In fact, do remember that the Democratic Party currently does lead in all of the too close to call races, and they have Oregon, a safe blue state, so if they can hold on to their leads, it looks like they're going to be the party in control come January. We now have some monumental calls for the Democrats, starting with the state of Colorado. This was the most expected flip of the night for either party. Cory Gardner he's been sent home by John Hickenlooper here, and for President 2020 didn't do so well, but instead is focusing on a much more winnable race, and he'll be rewarded for his efforts. In Arizona, Mark Kelly will defeat Martha McSally, the husband of former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords. He is also a former astronaut, as you can see. He will go on to the U.S. Senate. Arizona, 2 years ago they had 2 Republicans in the Senate, now they have 2 Democrats. In Michigan, we can project that Gary Peters will win another term in office. He has defeated John James by an 8-point margin. Remember, it was too close to call an hour ago. Now it will be called. From the state of Maine, we have a major projection to make. Susan Collins is out. She has been defeated by Sarah Gideon by just barely a lead margin. So Collins, the most unpopular senator in the nation, has been sent home by her constituents. It's currently too close to call in the pivotal race going on in Montana. Steve Bullock and Steve Daines facing off at the Battle of the Steves. We do know for sure that one Steve will come on top at the end of the night. We just don't know which one. In the state of Iowa, interesting race to look out for. This is another toss-up race between Teresa Greenfield and Joni Ernst. See what my subscribers choose at the end of the night. The Democrats are at 48 seats. I know an hour ago I said they were at 48, but now they actually are at 48, so we apologize for the inconvenience. They're actually at 44 before that in the GOP. Still at 44. We now have a major call from the state of North Carolina, the most contested race of the night. Cal Cunningham has unseated incumbent Tom Tillis. Tillis was trailing in the polls pretty consistently, wasn't too popular, and he has been sent home by the state of North Carolina. And they're going to continue their trend of having one-term senators. Cal Cunningham will go to the U.S. Senate as a Democrat from North Carolina. Another call, and the GOP is telling Kansas, I told you so. They did not want Chris Kobach to be the nominee, and he just cost them a Senate seat in a race that would otherwise be safe for the Republican Party. Barbara Bollier will be the next senator from Kansas, although she is a conservative Democrat, so expect her to vote with the GOP on some issues. We do have a call from Oregon. Jeff Merkley will be will be reelected, and with this projection, we can project that the Democrats have taken control of the United States Senate. Chuck Schumer will. Mitch McConnell is going to have a different office assignment come January. Chuck Schumer will be the Senate Majority Leader for the first time in his career. Jim Risk from the state of Idaho, we can project he will defeat Paulette Jordan in that race. Currently, there are 3 races uncalled. Democrats at 51, the GOP at 46. From the state of Alaska, we can project, the polls have closed there, my bad. But in the state of Montana, first we can project that Steve Bullock will be the next United States Senator from Montana. Remember, he was the incumbent governor, very popular. He has unseated the other Steve Daines, so, one Steve sent home, another Steve is going to be serving in the United States Senate. In the state of Iowa, Joni Ernst will defeat a strong Democratic challenger, Teresa Greenfield. She's going to narrowly hold off Greenfield, but neither of them actually receive 50% of the vote, so interesting to see what's going on there. Now, Al Gross is, I know it says Iowa, I should say Alaska. We apologize for the inconvenience. I kind of actually rushed through this election night, so there's some errors. Anyways, Al Gross currently trailing Dan Sullivan. A lot of third-party voting. Gross is running as an independent, but he will caucus with the Democrats, similar to Angus King or Bernie Sanders. One race has yet to be called, and that's Alaska, but we now, from the UAP decision desk, can make a call. In the state of Alaska, we can project that Dan Sullivan will be re-elected to another 6-year term, narrowly defeating a strong opponent, Al Gross. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I spent a lot of time on this. This was whoever decided, so don't hate on me in the comment section. Although we do have actually similar predictions. This is basically my prediction. So my subscribers overall agree with me. The closest race that didn't go, Kansas was. We had like 45 responses, which wasn't great, but Kansas came within 2 votes of going to the Republicans. Iowa was literally a split, and I just gave it the nod towards the Republicans because I think it'll go there. Also, for some reason, a lot of people thought Paulette Jordan was going to win the Idaho Senate race. Like 40% of the recipients did, of the respondents did, so guys, don't troll. But thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you on the next one.